What's up everybody, z tej strony Kuti. Playoffy ruszyły pełną parą. Jak dla mnie na razie jest bez zaskoczeń, chociaż nie ukrywam, że Boston zrobił na mnie duże wrażenie, bo nie spodziewałem się, że można w ogóle przyhamować w ataku Kevina Duranta, ale oni go kompletnie zatrzymali. W każdym razie potrzebna jest nam wszystkim mała odskocznia od tych emocji. Dlatego zapraszam was na wywiad z Kobim Bryantem, którego udzielił w 2019 roku. Będzie to skrót najciekawszych wypowiedzi przetłumaczonych na polski, a oryginalny link do wywiadu zostawię wam w opisie. Jestem ciekawy też, czy taki format wam odpowiada, bo nie ukrywam, że jest mnóstwo wywiadów z ciekawymi opowieściami prosto z parkietu. To tyle tytułem wstępu, zapraszam do oglądania.
First person that got me, Nick Van Exel, in practice. Yeah, Nick the Quick was getting me in practice, and you know, he was kept saying, "You reach, I teach. You reach, I teach," and he was hitting me with that little bop stuff, and drove me crazy.
Yeah,
my first time getting out there and playing. Nick went at me pretty
he was
hard.
aggressive.
Yeah,
Like, I got a chance to play with him in Portland, and just his IQ and skill level to score was like next level.
He was cracking. He had those big hands and
Big
he could shoot.
hands. He could
He had
pound the
runners.
ball.
You know, it took me about a good week to figure out he couldn't go right, and then I had to.
Yeah. Lakers, Magic Johnson. You grew up on Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
And you got drafted to Charlotte. And what was your first reaction to hearing Charlotte? Then you hear the Lakers.
Yeah, well, like I knew what was going on. I knew
Okay.
that there was a trade in the works, right? And so when I got drafted,
Well,
and
good representation. He knows what's happening.
that's right. And so, like, you get drafted, you get on the phone with the GM of the team that drafted you and all that stuff. So I get on the phone with the Charlotte GM, and he just tells me, "Hey, you know what's going on?" Like, yeah. And you got media in front of you and all that. And he goes, "Well, it's a good thing we're trading you because we couldn't have used you anyway."
Word?
Okay. All right. So that's what happened on draft night. So I was already triggered.
In mode.
I was triggered. I was ready to go to the gym. Like, fuck the media. Like, I don't want to do any more interviews. I'm trying. Yeah. What you telling me that for? I'm
Why they gotta
17.
go
What you
there?
telling? Okay. All right. Okay.
But you going to a team they already screaming like with so much talent on this team, they should be a championship winning team.
Yeah.
You going to a team straight out of high school, first guard ever to go straight out of high school, and it's pressure. You got Eddie Jones, Nick Van Exel, Shaq. You got all these guys that's in front of you, and you come out with the total confidence of like, I'm supposed to play on this level.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like, it's probably good for me to play against those top players because they were all stars, right? So playing against them every day in practice, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
The flip side of that is going to a team in which I play immediately.
Yeah.
Right. And all these stuff, individual stuff that people talk about at the end of the career, the numbers and all that stuff would be much better. MVPs probably be higher and all sort of stuff. But going to the Lakers and playing behind Eddie Jones and Nick Van Exel taught me a lot. Byron Scott was there as a mentor. Watching Shaq kind of starting to figure things out a little bit.
Yeah.
Made practices very competitive. And I had to, do a lot. I had to try to be perfect just to get on the damn floor. Because if I made a mistake, coach is yanking me out.
Yeah.
So understanding what that feels like every day in practice, it's got to be a war because I got to prove that I deserve to play. I deserve to be here. Every play matters. And so that helped me, that raised me that way.
Because I was taught like that.
Talk about the difference of like when you came in straight out of high school, you went into a league and your team, grown men, people got kids, families, and all of that, as opposed to now, these guys come in 19, whatever. They got plenty of guys in their age group. Everybody around them is the same age. Like, talk about how different and how difficult that was for you coming in literally at 18 in a real grown man. Like, everybody say when you get to the NBA, you're in a grown man's league, but right now it's more of a young man's league than like when you came in, it was a true grown man.
Yeah, well now it's like college, just that you don't go to class.
Right.
You know what
Exactly.
I mean?
Level of college.
Yeah, back then it was true grown men, and I think there was positives and negatives to that. Like the negatives, I didn't relate to any of them.
Right.
And there are certain things that they could do as a team that I couldn't do.
Yeah.
You know, you go out to a certain club as a team, you go out to a bar as a team. I can't go. Like I legally can't go.
Sound like us.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was hard, and I think that actually I had nothing to do. So what am I going to do? I'm going to play basketball. I'm going to study basketball. So I think that's where, now that I think about it, some of my behavior originated from. And so I got into that habit. So even when I became, legal, I still wasn't going and hanging out with the team because I was so conditioned to focus on one thing and one thing only.
So speaking on that, I've talked to my boys and everybody about this. I played in LA for 4 years. I've never seen you anywhere other than the Staples Center. Yeah. Like literally, like I don't know how you do it, how it happens. I'm like, and I've asked some of my team, like, yo, you ever see? Like, nah, I ain't never. How? Like you the Black Bruce Wayne, you take helicopters to the joint.
You just appeared.
Like how did that happen?
Well, I was obsessive, bro. I was really obsessive about this game, and like to me, everything was competitive advantage as well. I didn't want to be around guys that see me out and know when I'm not working. I don't want that.
Yeah.
And I was really about that life. Like I was going at it, and then to know what I'm doing now, I had to prepare for that early. So like at 20, I started thinking about, I got to think about what comes at the end.
Right.
All right, writing. I didn't know it was going to be films and novels and all that sort of stuff, but I knew it was going to be something around writing. So I had to practice that. So when I wasn't playing basketball, spending time with my wife and family, I was writing.
Yeah.
So I didn't have time to be going out and doing all that sort of stuff. Not to say I didn't do it, but
At one. Your left hand, like how did your left hand get so good? Like you could shoot a floater. Like you'll go off the wrong leg, left-handed.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you work on that? Like
just consistency. Just consistency. Like my daughter right now, her left hand is as good as her right around the basket. I got girls on my team that finish better with their left hand than they do with their right hand.
Yeah.
Just because of the amount of repetition that we do every day and just working on the left. And it's nothing to be done other than just repetition. Just continue to shoot, get comfortable with it. And I gave them some work to do at home. Like try to eat with your left hand.
Yeah.
Try to write your name with your left hand. Brush your teeth with your left hand. Just so you get comfortable using it. And those are the things I used to do.
I feel like when you got a game, when in your game, you got weapons. I used to call us like superheroes. You put that jersey on and I know he got the right to left crossover. He go hard right. He gonna dunk. Like you kind of go through the categories of weapons that a person got. Your weapons. I never seen a shot that you didn't feel like you couldn't make. And even from the adjustment of you being athletic to you just got to get to your spots and get over the hand. That's like what created the more repertoire that he was grabbing.
The shot that really matters is a pull-up shot because it all comes back to that, right? And so you can do all these moves beforehand. They don't matter. Eventually you're gonna get to a spot, you're gonna raise up and shoot. So doing that shot thousands of times got me so comfortable with the shot that I could shoot that shot anytime. There's nothing you can do about it. And if you shoot a shot thousands of times, I can change the trajectory anytime I want. I can flatten it out anytime I want. You can be in my face, it's not gonna make a difference because it's on autopilot.
It's on autopilot.
See what I'm saying? So like no matter what happens, it transpires here, whether it's a jab step or a crossover or a double, it doesn't matter because when I get to that spot and I raise up and shoot, I've done it thousands of times. That's in the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it all comes down to that shot.
After that year, I think that was the year after you shot the air ball in Utah. After that year, what clicked to be like, I'm the baddest man on the planet?
Had to get stronger. Like the air balls in Utah, it just showed me I needed the strength. In high school you play 30 games max.
Right.
You get to the league, man, you playing 30 games before October come around, man. It's like, and so it wears you down. So it wasn't, I was nervous about the situation, or the shots were off, they were all right on line. They were short. I gotta get stronger. And I'm looking around, I'm looking at Mike, and I'm looking at Mike's physique. Strong.
Yeah.
Right, I'm looking at other guys around the league. They're not.
Latrell
Sprewell's great player, not strong.
Yeah.
Mitch Richmond has a natural base to him, but I can tell he's not lifting every day. You can look.
Yeah.
Mike is. Scotty is.
Yeah.
Them dudes got 4 or 5 championships by now. I need to do that, right? And so that's when I started lifting and started getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's the adjustment I made because I had the fundamentals, I had the skill. I learned some things technique-wise, defensively. But then my physical abilities caught up to the skill.
One of your moments, my favorite moments of you is you come off the bench for the Lakers and you make the All-Star team. You playing, I think it's Madison Square Garden, and you playing against the Bulls, Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Like, that was one of the best All-Star games I ever seen in the history of the game. Like, I want to know how you felt about like that moment. You going against your idol, who's on the other team. You get a chance to, you thinking that Eddie Jones and Nick Van Exel and Shaq, they automatically finna make the All-Star game, and you make it too, to be a part of that group. Like, what did that moment like feel?
It was a huge honor. Like, when you see the votes tallying up, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm a starter on this team. I only started my own team, you know. And like, it became very serious to me because I didn't want to make it seem like I was just some bubblegum player.
Yeah,
popularity got me in there. It was like, well, hold on, no, I can hoop. You know, so I wanted to prove, like, you know, I belong here, sort of thing. And you know, the hype of going up against Mike, it was okay. Let's go. Show me. Like, I've been watching you play my whole life. Yeah. Show me. Like, I want to see this. Everybody calling you Black Jesus and all this other crap. Like, you have to show me, man. And I went out there and we went head up. And you know, I think his respect and appreciation for me really grew that day because you saw on the biggest stage, I didn't shy away from that confrontation. I looked forward to that confrontation.
Yeah, look forward to
and you know, George Karl, which, you know, later in years became my motivation when we played against Denver, to never let them win the playoff series because he didn't play me the whole fourth quarter of that game.
I remember that.
See what I'm saying? Because me and Mike went at it, you know, for 3 quarters, and then in the fourth quarter, the crowd's waiting for me to get back in there. He benches me the whole fourth.
I remember that.
And it was like, okay.
Every time I see you getting this work.
It's on site. It's on site. So when we played the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs, it was like, hold on, yo, you will never beat me in the playoff series.
all your wings got you to blame for this.
Yeah, it's not
all
happening.
The wings. It's his fault. Y'all.
I was so pissed.
So I always respected that you came in as a rook, and you know, as a big name superstar rook type, and you jumped into the dunk contest, and you jumped on that stage. You know what I'm saying, you handled it. You did your thing. What do you think about some of the superstars nowadays is not being in the dunk? Cause you know, like us, we grew up watching
Jordan and
Mike,
Dominique.
The greats was the ones that were putting on the show. And I'm not saying that I don't want to see some of these other boys, because nowadays some of these other boys got crazy hops too. But I'm saying, like, I would like to see our superstars. If you one of those crazy athletes, forget about all that, your brand, or I don't want to lose. Man, go put on a show. Like Aaron Gordon and Levine them did, like how MJ and Don. If you a superstar and you got bounce, go do it.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think the All-Star game in general needs a little revamping because it used to be competitive.
Yeah.
It used to be competitive, and like, you know, fans want to see the best pickup game in the world. That's what this is. They don't want to see you running up and down and dunking and doing all this crazy. Like, they want to see what happens when you get these collection of best basketball players on the planet, and they play and they go head up against each other.
Man.
I mean, you guys play harder at a pickup game in UCLA.
For real.
And ain't billions of people watching.
For real.
Definitely do.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely do.
They gotta turn
the All-Star game needs a little changing. I always loved competing in them. I didn't lose many of them.
Nah,
me and
CP
used to talk all the time.
Like, you took it serious.
Yeah, we went. Like, I don't think me and CP, when we played together in the All-Star game, I don't think we've ever lost a game.
Yeah.
And we used to look at each other and say, okay,
going serious. They don't want to play, we gonna play.
Fourth quarter, let's go get them.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: 24 and 8. Like, 8 was, you know, that was, I know, number 8, Kobe Bryant. Everybody, the world is stuck on that, and just all of a sudden that you decided to revamp yourself and turn to 24. Why the number 24 out of all the numbers that you could have chose?
A couple things, like 24 was the first number I wore in high school. My freshman year, I was number 24. And then philosophically for me, it carried a significance because it was about approaching every day as if it was my last. And I had to have that mentality because it shifts. Shaq's gone. I have to drive this team every day.
Yeah.
You know, there's no days off. You come in practice, we're gone, right? And so every time I look at that number, it's like today is the most important day.
Yeah.
Today is the day, right? It's one day, that's it, right? And that helped me, you know, stay locked in.
So this is what I want to know, right? when I came, look, I would say coming into the league, I felt like I was an offensive scorer, right? You know, when we was in high school, I was a scorer. But then you look at dudes like you. I want to know, what is the mentality that when you get, all right, you got 20, you got 30. What makes in your mind, like when you got 30, most people like, all right, cool, like I'm going 40, now I'm going 50, now I'm going 60, now I'm going, like what is happening in your thought process when you do it? Because like at some point, I know you tired because the people don't understand, score buckets like that take energy.
Yeah.
So how do you continue to just like go? Because I was in New York when you got the 60, and God bless my young boy Wilson Chandler. He recovered. He is good. You know, everything is well with his life and his career. He's still playing now, so you know he made it through that. But like I'm sitting here watching it, and I'm like, yo, he's not stopping. He don't look like he want to stop. He still want to get 100 if he can. Like, where does that mentality come from? Where you see most guys 30, 40, and they kind of chill out like, all right, I got this.
Yeah, no, I it's a competition, and my mission is to destroy you. It's not, you know, I mean, like I don't say, you know, like we're playing, I'm not stopping at 30. Like I'm gonna keep going until you figure out something else to do. Like I'm gonna keep going, you know. And like that New York game, I knew D'Antoni's philosophies are never to double a guy that's hot, because he always thinks they're gonna cool off eventually.
Yeah.
Right. So I understood that. So once I got rolling, I knew that was gonna be the case. But then watching film leading into the game, I knew Wilson. I knew he was just gonna play sound defense. Right. He wasn't gonna gamble.
Yeah.
Right? He wasn't gonna try to block a shot. He wasn't, you know, he was gonna try to play good position defense. So I knew I could get a good look. So from that standpoint, I said, all right, I just gotta take my time, be on balance, and knock him down.
I was like, yo, so that's a wrap, man. We out here on location in the Black Bruce Wayne's private studios in a secret location in California, man. But we definitely appreciate you, dog, coming through and letting us come through and rock with you. This Hall of Fame.
Hall of
You know what I'm
Fame.
saying? This top 3 all time, y'all.
Great.
You know what this is. It's the Mamba mentality.